What's up, guys? And we're here on the Is300 build. We have special guest Roscoe, the welder Anthony. So you already know what's going on. We're going to be putting a 1J in this. It looks a little rough, but he's getting it painted. It already has Altezza headlights, the grill. He's going to get a new bumper. It's got like 290,000 miles on it. He's owned it for like 12 years. Apparently some one-off header. It looks kind of crazy. No header I've ever seen. But that's what we're doing today. Today on my time-lapse video, we're going to be pulling this motor out today. We're not setting that one in just yet. But for today's little clip of this time-lapse, we're taking this motor out, taking the whole front end apart because it makes life easy. And then we're going to take it out. And then if I'm lucky, I might sit it back in there, but I don't see it happening today. But, all right, see you on the time-lapse. What's up, guys? If you've been following along, we're on the next step of the Is300 build. It is a wagon, if you didn't know already. Super stoked for this one. Customer's getting a 1JZVVTi we picked up used, and it wasn't cheap by any means. Took the motor out the last video. Problems happened, accidents happened. Motor mount just fell out. That was hilarious. Problems. Let's see here. Somehow, in some way, we didn't catch that. The fuel line caught the intake manifold stay on the way out. And the reason why we didn't catch it is because the manifold, so apparently it's a rare manifold because it's equal length, and I've never seen one like it. But the manifold is welded to a custom Y pipe, and the custom Y pipe is welded to the mid pipe, and the mid pipe is welded to an Apex EN1. So I didn't have time to call the customer on taking it out, so I didn't want to cut it. Now that I know he wants to cut it and sell it, yeah, pry that off the engine while trying to get the engine out. You'll probably see that in the last video where they're like, why the hell is that still in there? But because that was in there, we had pushed the motor over. That got caught on the intake stay. I didn't see it. Mistakes happen, but it's not the end of the world. Drift Motion sells a adapter, which I haven't opened yet, but it connects to the factory hard line and gives a -6 AN out. But You know you got to do that anyway, because if you're running a JZVVTi swap, 2J, 1J, the factory GEs are returnless. So you got to get yourself a Aristo hanger, which has a return input. How do you get around the plastic hoses, you might ask? Radium, if you go on their web, Radium, I forget, Radium Engineering or Radium, but anyway, they make fuel rails and stuff. They make a adapter that clips in with the factory yellow clip, and it comes out to a -6 AN. And it's in the Lotus section because apparently, you know, Lotuses use the Camry V6s, and so anyway, so on and so forth. They sell it. It's like $20 a fitting though, so you know you're gonna pay to play. But that'll help me run the return line from the VVTi all the way to the back. And we're doing it in black. Don't let your friends, don't let friends use chrome and red and blue fittings, because this is not 2001, even though the car's 2001. But anyway, the motor's out. We're gonna replace the AC line. The car was in an accident before, so it has a full Altezza front clip, as you saw in the first video. Some of you might not have caught it, but it has a full Altezza front clip. The AC line was smashed, so we're gonna replace that for him, because how you gonna cruise in the wagon and not have AC? So AC, power steering rack has seen better days. It is original, so I'll be doing a rack first before we drop the motor in, because hey, getting that bolt right there is so much easier with nothing here. So we'll be doing that first. Then I'll be replacing the AC line. Then I'm gonna do the fuel line. I'm gonna run the return line to the back. And then if all goes well, I'm hoping to get the motor in the car today, because there's not that much. I was gonna pressure wash it. Actually, I should pressure wash it, but I'm hoping to get the motor in the day. It's probably not gonna run because I don't think I had that kind of time. But the goal for this video, because this is gonna be part 2, the goal for this video is to get the motor in the car, situated, and see how we're gonna go. So if you don't know, we have the Aristo hanger. I have a tweak harness, because now I didn't get lucky. We got the motor in hopes that, you know, you get so if you've done a 1J swap in an Is300, you know that if you get lucky and the factory harness isn't cut, then all you need to splice is a couple wires to get it to run in the car. I didn't get that lucky. 90% of the harness was there. They chopped it at the ECU. Sad face. So owner decided to go tweak harness. Quality stuff, man. I mean, look, he braids everything. You can hide all the wires, so on and so forth. And tweak harness, I got to drill a hole in the firewall because I got to run this in behind the glove box. So that's going to be another fun adventure. And it has the plugs to run the factory ECU. So that way you keep the coolant temp, you keep the gauge function, AC, you keep all that fun stuff, because you're reusing the factory ECU for those functions. Outside of that, the car is completely going to run on the 1J ECU. Now, goals. This customer does not mess around. He already wants to go T56. He wants to go big turbo, Hall Tech. But we're getting the car first, make sure it runs. He's going to drive it automatic for a little while, because he has a Porsche he wants us to wrap. So he wants to drive this for a couple weeks while the Porsche is getting wrapped from us. And then once the Porsche gets done getting wrapped, then we're going to take this bag out and put the Go Fast parts on, because I'm not trying to sit here and fight this. I've done a lot of 1Js. Taking the stock twins off on a non-VVTi in the car is a pain in the ass. So I can only imagine it being the same amount of pain doing this in the car, especially with the ABS pump sitting in there. So when it comes time to it, yes, we're going to work twice, because the owner wants it a certain way for a while. Take the motor back out. We're going to do the turbo, 6-speed T56 and Hall Tech. He's probably going to do some radium, fuel rail, probably some 1300cc injectors. 85. The end goal is he wants to make 650 to the wheel in a wagon. Streetable. I mean, that can be done. The SC outside makes 550 on 14 pounds with cams. So that's the end goal. So without further ado, I'm going to put this on time lapse. If you're not understanding why I'm doing time lapse, I will point blank tell you, we have a surround sound system in the garage and it gets loud. And I'm not trying to deal with YouTube copyrights. I like to listen to music while I work. It kind of makes the work goes by easier, and sometimes it doesn't. And then when I have guests over, we have conversations in here that I don't want to be publicizing on YouTube. So I'll stop the videos, time lapse, I mean, and I'll record what I need to record if I want to show you guys something or problems that come up and so on and so forth. And we'll do it that way. So without further ado, I'm gonna put this on time lapse and we're gonna get this up on the lift and get the rack, cut the exhaust, and you guys can see all that in time lapse. See you soon. All right, so I'll unbox some of the parts before I even start so you can see what I'm talking about. I got the brand new rack. There's the AC line that we got to change. They got messed up in an accident. This whole section is gone. Air motive 340, rated for 85. Braided power steering line from Drift Motion. That right there is that fuel fitting I was talking about. It screws into the factory fuel line, the metal fuel line coming from the tank. And there's your dash 6 outlet to the fuel rail. Evil Energy, as you can see. Don't think it was supposed to be 10 foot. And now that I see that, probably gonna need to order some more fuel line. But there's the top rod ends in the rack. And then I got the fan connector broke, so I got new fans, new condenser, and then a whole lot of other stuff that's still coming in the mail. But this is what I got for right now. This is what's going in the car. If you're looking for some of this stuff, especially this stuff from Drift Motion, they got a lot of stuff. Props to Aaron for making some stuff for this 2J guys and 1J guys. All right, I'm gonna get the car in the air. We start the time lapse. All right, we got the motor dressed. We had to change the oil pan. The oil pan had a crack in it, so you saw that on the time lapse. So it's a brand new oil pan. Motor's up. It looked pretty clean inside. So we got Chai over there, Spence there, Roscoe there. We're putting the motor in today, and then we'll go from there. In the time lapse, you saw that we put the rack in. I got the fuel line adapter in, and I have the braided power steering. The braided power steering line in. So we're gonna time lapse putting this in and go from there. All right, guys, it's the next morning. Got the motor in the car last night. The only headaches that we had, okay, right now, obviously, we already said before, the tweak harness. It's got to run inside the car, but just to start the motor, we're gonna leave it outside. I'm gonna just probably have it lay over here somewhere so we can get it started. Getting the motor in the car, complete pain. If you Is300 owners know, this ABS module being here made this difficult. Trying, you know, had to unbolt this and move it around to get the turbo to squeeze past that. Other than that, motor's in. Took us about, I want to say 2 hours to get it situated. I gotta call, tweak, and see how can I better route this. I might be able to sneak it under the throttle body more because this has to go in here with the factory ECU. You can probably see, if the camera will focus on it, there's your fuel line. That's gonna run to the dampener on the block. And then that nipple right there is for your fuel return. Okay, look at that, brand new filter, brand new oil pan. So hopefully in a week, next weekend, when all the parts, I ordered some more fuel line because 10 feet wasn't enough. Hopefully next weekend, we can get this running in the car, hear it run for the first time. And then we can start doing the go fast stuff to get it all back together, and the intake and the intercooler, all that fun stuff. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I'm gonna shoot the next video next weekend when all the parts come in, and hopefully we can hear this thing come alive next weekend. See you guys for the next video.